let's open our spreadsheet from part 1. So we'll open Excel and go to Open and go to State Facts. Here's our spreadsheet from part 1 that we created. Remember, this is called a ribbon up here. So anytime someone says go to the ribbon, that's what this area is. And these are all the drop down. These are all the tabs for drop downs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this last line. So I'm going to highlight my last line. And now that I have it, it's highlighted, it's wondering, what do you want to do with this? So if I go to this little box right here, do you see how it used to have this arrow, which means I can move it around. But if I have this little X or T in the corner of that cell, I can click and drag it down and it will copy what I had in that last cell. Whatever I had highlighted, it's going to copy that. So I'll have 2 of those. So we're actually going to do that. So I have 3, it says the same thing 3 times. So anytime you want to copy your cells, maybe you only want to copy this one, then you just have that one highlighted, and then you just click and drag, and it'll copy all those cells for you. I'm going to change the orientation, which that's in page layout. If you go to the tab page layout and orientation, right now it's going up and down, but I want it to go landscape, so I'm going to click landscape. Now you'll notice nothing changed to my view. It did put in this dotted line that tells me that's the end margin. This is my page right here. That's what I'm going to see if I were to print it. So now it'll go sideways as opposed to up and down. I want to make sure my grid lines, which are all of these lines around the cells, I want to make sure those print. So I'm going to go, it's still under page layout, grid lines, and I'm going to check the box print, which again, you won't see anything on your screen, but when you go to print, all of these lines will appear. I want to add a sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to this plus down here at the bottom, and I'm going to click this. See, it says sheet 1. I'm going to click a plus. Now that just added a second sheet. If I go back to sheet 1, that's that one. If I go to sheet 2, and I can keep adding sheet after sheet after sheet. To rename these so that they say something different, I right click on them and I go to rename, and I'm going to say state info. And then sheet 2, I'm going to rename that Colorado, because that was my first state that I talked about up here. If I want to print this, I'm going to go to File, Print. And the lovely thing about Microsoft is that it always gives you a print preview. This shows me what I'm going to see on my piece of paper when I print. And so I might want to just print the first page, because now I have 2 sheets. Remember when I made that second sheet down here? Well, now I have 2 sheets. I don't want to print both those sheets. I only want to print page 1. And then I can print just the information that I've put in so far.